I actually left. This is one of the hardest things I've ever had to do.
This is the most personal video I've ever made. I have documented every part of what I was going through while I was going through it. It was really just for myself. What you're about to see is real, raw, and very messy. The full story, like what really happened and went down, is at the end of the video. But first I want to take you through this journey together with me and how I actually got there.
I actually left. It's only been 24 hours since I left. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I can't go back. I was really deeply stuck in a trauma pattern of abuse, and I didn't even realize. I'm really scared. I feel so alone.
It's now been 72 hours since I left, and I still feel really dead and really numb. But at the same time, I feel free too. It feels like I'm breaking an ancestral pattern. I used to judge a lot of other women for not being able to be on their own, and women who would stay in toxic relationships. And now I recognize that this is a deeper problem, and that I have always gotten myself into relationships that are not good for me. I can't tell the full story just yet. I think right now I'm still in shock.
It's far too late, and I think you made me, baby. Since you've been like this, I don't really wanna be like this.
This is day 4 of going through this breakup from this trauma bond. I've been having the biggest realizations that the reason why I stayed in a situation that wasn't right is because it was literally mirroring everything I went through in my childhood. I feel really horrible. That's the truth. I feel really alone. I really don't know what's gonna happen next, because I know that I cannot stay permanently at my uncle's, which is where I'm at right now. So I have such a bad headache, and I have had this headache this entire relationship. Like, I don't even have the words at the minute to explain how I feel, because I'm just so exhausted from it all. I feel so drained from it all. And I also know that it needed to happen, because that relationship, it will destroy me, just like living with my father did. There's just certain people in life that they're like a bottle without a bottom. They keep sucking until you don't have anything left to give, and then they make you feel bad for being fucking exhausted. the biggest thing that I realized about myself, this relationship was us being, you know, really close friends in the beginning, and kind of like diving into this relationship by both of us being like addicted to each other. And I really gave myself in this relationship like we were married, you know, like we were always around each other. We were living with each other already. You know, I just think that there were so many issues that he had from his past, that he had within himself. And towards the end of the relationship, I really was not feeling safe anymore. I was not feeling comfortable because it seemed like he was taking a lot of his pain out on me. And I'm really proud of myself being here on my own right now and doing this and having made this decision for myself, having left his house, choosing me, and for recognizing that this was some type of traumatic cycle that I was repeating and having myself stuck in. The breakup was not my biggest fear. The biggest fear was being alone. The biggest fear was, how am I gonna fucking do this? How am I gonna restart my life after having been in LA for 2 years, kind of just totally wrapped up in this relationship, not really having created community for myself and helped myself much in that way. I just produced this beat and wrote this song. My ears, they won't stop ringing. The secrets the birds are singing. The ambulance keep on singing as my life goes swing, swing, swinging. Away with you, away with you, away with you, away with you, up in you. It's been like 2 weeks since this breakup, and is it bad that I feel really good? I feel in my whole being that this was the right decision to make in my life. Let me tell you something. I had a fight on Christmas with my brother because I'm here in Switzerland with my family. A lesson for me was always that I didn't know how to navigate conflict or speak my truth. I would just get silent. I would allow myself to be suppressed and spoken over. I would allow myself to be dominated. And now I don't do that anymore because of this very relationship. And on Christmas, when I had an argument with my brother, I did not silence myself. I did not speak up out of fear. And it makes me feel like you don't understand. Ever since I left this relationship, I've been getting so many downloads about this relationship that I attracted that energy because that energy was needed. My childhood trauma was needed to be repeated for me to realize the lesson that I'm now an adult and I don't need to sit on my mouth anymore. I don't need to fucking bite my tongue anymore. I'm fucking 25, bitch! I can fucking do what I want! I just feel like this relationship has drained me financially, it drained me emotionally, it drained me physically, it drained me in my nervous system. Like, it was just too much. And I am so proud of myself.
Sunshine, I've been craving all the sunlight. Man, it really feels like I'm so high. After all the pain and suffering, I'm so high. I don't care inside, cause I feel like I belong. I found the truth and it's you. In the mirror, it's you. It's you.
This week has been absolute hell for me. I feel like I was not fully confronting my pain when I was in Switzerland with my family because I was smoking every day, and I actually step into a default mode around my family like I did in my relationship, which is that I'm really good at masking. As soon as I came back to California, it just feels like all hell has broken loose. There's been fires. It really made me not want to come here because I just didn't know how I was gonna feel being back here, because it's so easy to deal with your pain when you're avoiding it or when you're escaping from it. But I've been sober this whole week. It's been horrible. I had this terrible virus. I've been sick the past 3 weeks. I felt like my body just wasn't getting better. I also developed this really weird rash on my body. It was itching so bad. I have underestimated how much this has fucked with my nervous system. I don't know how I'm gonna get through this. I've been procrastinating finishing this video because I'm terrified of putting my shit out there. But at the same time, there's a part of me that feels so alone and that just wants to tell her story and be heard. This is hard.
I touched down in London, oh I can smell the change. It seems that leaving you was what I had to do insane. I would've never thought that just in one day you go from best friends, soulmates to estranged. I see your dirty secrets, the rats that's in your closet, and all the lies and cheating. This not what I want for daughters. You had me trapped and sobbing. This got the panic crawling. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Leave me to regulate. I cannot be around you. You are poison enemy. I cannot see. My vision blurry. This is death to me. I cannot breathe. I really thought you were so good to me. I've been deceived. I've been so weak. Can you stop just saying things so that I'll never leave? You're siphoning all of my energy. Just please leave me alone. I cannot deal with all your scenes. You're a drama queen. You make me sick. Just fucking leave, bitch.
I'm so tired. I'm so angry. I don't deserve to be treated the way that I have been. People just getting away with being so horrible to me. And then I'm the one that ends up suffering the consequences. A bunch of mean people that have been around me, that have bullied me, that have tried to put me down. And it's like, you just wonder what the point is. What's the point in being positive and being strong if people fucking hate you for it anyway? I'm so done with people thinking that they can get all of my positive traits, but they can't handle me when I'm at my lowest. Fuck you.
I'm dealing with a lot of different physical issues that I can't even... I'm embarrassed to even admit. Life communicates with me through my body. I feel so much shame. Oh, and I'm itching as I say that, even though I've lived in all these different countries in the world. I have attracted a narcissistic man in every single one of those countries. I need to learn to accept myself and to not feel shame, but I do feel shame because I feel like, how the fuck is it that I've grown up in this narcissistic household and I can't even spot it when I'm dating these people? And then it occurred to me, of course you can't fucking spot it because that's all you know. But I have become so desensitized to my own life that I didn't even fucking realize how bad it's been and how much my body has been communicating with me, but I've just been smoking weed and covering up this weird pain in my body. I had so much nausea in this relationship. A teacher told me in school once that it doesn't matter where you move to, you cannot run from the problem because the problem will follow you wherever you go. He said that to me, and I always thought that was such bullshit. I thought no, I'm gonna move to Los Angeles. I'm gonna fulfill my dreams and it's gonna take the pain away. But fun fact, it does not. It does not take the pain away. I'm just so scared. I feel fucking terrified. And I feel so invalidated by so many people around me.
I'm still sick as hell, but I made another beat.
You don't wanna believe me. You think I can't see you think I can't see the real you. You don't wanna believe me. Well, I'm gonna leave you. Yeah, I'm gonna leave. Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm so tired. Don't you treat me like that. I'm so tired, man. You got me upset. Yeah, you don't wanna believe me. Well, I'm gonna leave you. I'm gonna leave you behind. It started on the day when you told me I can wear those sexy clothes. The fuck? You would always yell at me, and I thought, this is unbelievable. I guess I see what's up. I gotta get strong. I gotta get it together. I gotta move it on. I know you made me weak. Put your knees before me. I gotta let you go now. Let's go. You don't wanna believe me. Usually don't give it away. What's love got to do? Got to do with it. Second-hand emotion. What's love got to do? You're broken and acting confused when you're close.
I'm about to take an ice bath. I'm super nervous. I'm doing this ice bath because my brother swears by it. So he told me to do breath work, which I just did, and to get in the water. If you can overcome the fear of getting in ice cold water, you can overcome any fear in life. So that's why I'm doing it, because I need to get strong, but I'm fucking shaking right now. Let's do this. I can do this, I can do this. I can do it, I can do it, I can do it. Oh my god. Wait, I actually feel relaxed. I don't even feel like I'm feeling the cold. This is always how I am in life with facing any of my fears. It's like, it's so terrible at first. And then I'm like, wait, this is kind of fun. Three minutes is done. What the fuck? That was really not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. I'm so proud of myself. I really did that. I am incredibly nervous right now because we have reached the end of this video, which is where I tell you guys the truth of what actually happened. I really want to do this for myself as well, to cut ties with this part of my life because I'm over it and I just want it to be done like yesterday. So that video that you saw at the beginning of this whole entire video, me packing my shit, that happened within 1 hour. I packed up my entire life in my room while nobody was at the house and while I knew that he was going to be outside of the house at a rehearsal. And the reason for this was because I'd already tried to leave or wanted to leave once before, which was in July last year. I called my uncle crying in July last year and told him that I wanted him to pick me up so that I could leave because I was not happy in that relationship anymore. But everybody in that environment was gaslighting me. He gaslit me, his mother gaslit me, and I honestly just didn't know how to trust myself and support myself in that moment. So I continued to be in the relationship, but he would drag me down emotionally
all the time whenever I had just an ounce of myself back or an ounce of happiness. Like, I started going to music school last year in September, learning about music production, which is something I've always been so passionate about. But every time I would come back from school being happy, he would think that I was talking to other guys and cheating on him, when really I was hella loyal. And this leads me up to what happened right before I left. I had a very strange dream that was very spiritual and significant a few days before I left. And then I knew what I needed to do was to go through his phone. And it's really interesting how he accused me of talking to other people, because then when I went through his phone one night, I found a lot of messages between him and his ex where it looked like they had pretty much just continued to have this relationship with each other of talking weekly, hourly phone calls, constant text messages, him sending her pictures of shit that he was doing in his life. And I knew that he was in contact with her still, but he phrased it in a way of, I'm just talking to her because I feel sorry for her because apparently she was mentally ill. But when I saw the messages, it was clear to me that that was a bullshit ass lie. He was continuing to be emotionally involved in this relationship while he was with me for 2 years, and we were very codependently involved with each other. I mean, I lived at his house, like I said in this video, did not have a life outside of this relationship. And when I saw the messages on his phone, I kid you not, my body went into physical shock. Those days leading up to the breakup were some of the hardest days in my life. I was extremely dissociated. I recorded every part of the process because I was terrified that I was gonna stay stuck in that relationship forever, that I was gonna be gaslit by people. They were gonna tell me that I was perceiving things the wrong way when my body was literally feeling sick. And when I saw his phone, it was like everything confirmed to me, and I realized, oh my god, I'm not fucking crazy. Like, I clocked within a short span of time that he was a narcissist. It was really painful, God. All of the behavior that he was doing was very manipulative and very much abusive, and I wanted to give some specific examples now. Truthfully, it brings me shame to talk about this because I feel like it does not match up with the kind of person that I am. I didn't even know what love was. And there's something about narcissists where they like absolutely build you up when you first meet them. They love bomb you. That is something that they do. And you know, my question was often, how do I know though if somebody genuinely admires me or if somebody is love bombing me? To be completely honest with you, I have undergone a major process these past weeks and months of cutting a lot of people from my life. Even my best friend, who I thought was my best friend for 7 years, I cut off pretty much overnight because I realized that that was another emotionally manipulative dynamic that was keeping me trapped. A lot of people that, you know, initially you think they admire you, and maybe they do, but eventually when they recognize that you are this strong person and they have these deep-rooted insecurities, they take it out on you and they hate on you in subtle ways. And this is something I really noticed with this guy. So, specific example, I spent a lot of time the last few months making music, and whenever I was making music in my room, he would constantly come in and interrupt me and basically demand my attention. Like, there is no respect whatsoever for my boundary, for space, and to cultivate my own thing. I was always having to do whatever he wanted me to do. There's a specific memory I have of one time where I cleaned out the fridge of his family's house where I was living at. And it took me like 5 fucking hours scrubbing that shit in the shower with hot water. Like, I don't know why I did all these things. Don't fucking ask me why I did these things. I don't know. I'm just being honest with you about what the deal is. So I was cleaning the fridge and I accidentally shattered one of the glass shelves that, you know, holds the stuff in the fridge in the shower because I was so exhausted. And what happened was when it shattered, it split open like my toe. I was crying and I was just like, I need help. And I don't know if he didn't hear me or if he didn't give a fuck. I go outside to him and I'm like, hello, I literally am bleeding, can you help me? And he just looks at me with this really cold, stern expression and is like mad at me. And is like, what the fuck happened now? The way he responded in that moment, it was just so different to what I was used to. I thought he was compassionate. I thought that he cared about my well-being and my emotions, but he was so cold. And see, this is the thing with narcissists. All of them are dismissive avoidance. You guys know I've talked about attachment styles. Dismissive avoidance are people that it's like when you don't need them, they want you. It's almost like they become fucking anxious when you become avoidant. But if you need them, they are nowhere to be found, and they almost find your emotions and the fact that you need them to be annoying. And that's what I felt in that moment. And another thing that made me realize he was incredibly avoidant, that was literally the reason why we almost broke up in July last year. Now, he wouldn't want me to share this, but we're not together anymore, so I can do whatever the fuck I want. There was a rat infestation at his house. In July, there was this horrible smell coming out of his closet, and he didn't want to open it. But he knew that there was fucking dead creatures in there. Disgusting. Eventually, he cleaned it out. But he got mad at me for having a strong reaction about the fucking dead rats in his closet. And even though that closet was cleaned out, the next months following that, there was rats running around the house as I was sleeping. I remember sleeping in his bed. I literally heard those fucking creatures scratching under my head, like right under the fucking bed. That was the lowest point. And I became so desensitized to my life that I just didn't even react to it anymore. I remember sleeping in bed with him and the rats would run around at night and I just wouldn't even have a reaction to it. I feel like the way that I explained this rat infestation is not doing justice of how horrible that time really was, because I was not gonna break up with him over rats running around, but it's the way that he responded like a victim, which he often did in situations where things were happening that were clearly his responsibility and within his control to change, but he would avoid it, not face accountability, and take it out on me. So I just wanted to say that because he was very emotionally abusive, and that was the problem with everything, is that he took all of his shit out on me. I was so helpless and I would fantasize about something or someone saving me all the time until I realized the person that needed to do the saving was me, bitch. It wasn't anybody that could save me but myself. And you want to know what? When I called him out on the emotional manipulation towards the end of our relationship, he had the nerve to say that he doesn't know what he's doing. I don't know what I'm doing. That's just sometimes how I am, but I didn't mean it like that. You just don't understand my love language. Bitch, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're doing? He would say to me many times throughout the relationship, he's not a good person. That should have been my biggest red flag. It's like they say, when people show you who they are, believe them. Another thing that happened is he would always make fun of me and he would call me dumb and he would say that I don't know anything all the time. As a joke, he'd be like, you don't know anything. You don't know anything. He even said to my uncle one time when they met at a show of his that I was very naive. And I was standing right next to him and then my uncle was just listening and I go, no, I'm not naive. And then he doesn't even look at me and he's just looking at my uncle. He goes, yeah, she is. And it's like, that's further confirmation of the fact that you know exactly what the fuck you're doing, you dirty motherfucker, and you want to act like you don't know. Guess who's laughing now? Guess who's not fucking naive anymore, bitch? He would also tell me that I shouldn't wear certain clothes, which he never did that in the beginning of the relationship, but as we kept dating more and more, he would say I couldn't wear certain things because of guys looking at me a certain way. That is translation for he looks at girls in a sexually objectifying way, because often narcissists are the most objectifying men, and so he didn't want other men to look at me the way that he was looking at other women. Like, bitch, what the fuck? This cheating, lying ass who then wants to act like I'm the villain? That's what narcissists are very good at. They will make you think you're the villain, and I swear to God, a lot of people go their whole life feeling crazy and just going along with it, because gaslighting is so real. It psychologically fucks you up. You start to see yourself as less than. But when I started going to this music school, despite being at my lowest physically and emotionally, like I really was not in a good place, I still had reflected back to me through interactions with people that I am talented, that I am positive, that I am a good person. And it was like, wow, I'm not the problem, and I need to wake the fuck up because nobody's gonna tell me. I felt so crazy throughout this whole experience, and it took my body time to adapt. Like, my ears were genuinely constantly ringing. My fucking forehead was hurting so much. It felt like all my chakras were splitting open all at once, like almost overnight. And I really felt insane, but at the same time I was like, this is the path that I'm on. I am not here to be understood and validated. I need to validate myself. Don't get me wrong, there was a lot of fear that has come with these decisions, because if you grew up in a narcissistic household, you're gonna be conditioned to feel very unsafe when you do speak up for yourself, when you do choose yourself, you know? That's why my whole life I found myself in these kind of relationships, because I didn't get to this point of being strong inside myself and seeing my worth and acknowledging that nobody's gonna see it for me. I need to see it. Nobody's gonna spell it out for me either. Nobody's gonna tell me. I'm an adult. That is basically the story of what happened. And now I would like to say something really, really important. This is a new chapter for me, a massive chapter. I am stepping into my purpose and becoming what I've always wanted to be. I'm going to be releasing my music very fucking soon. Now, I want to say, if you have ever wanted to support me or my work, this is the time. I put all of my meditations, ebooks, and all the different things on my website on sale, like 50-70% sale. These are things that I've poured my heart and soul into throughout this entire career. Every person who watches this video, or even just a fraction of my audience, contributed, you could literally change my life right now and help me to get through this transition. Check out the sale, see if anything resonates. Regardless, I appreciate you so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for hearing me. This video really has been a lot. I didn't know if I was gonna share so much information, but I'm in a much better place right now, feeling less of a need to be somebody that I'm not, and feeling more of a need to be everything that I fucking am. And I also want to say that if you resonated with any part of my story, whether you're going through that right now or whether you have gone through it, I see you, I hear you, you are not alone, and this community will always be here to uplift. Until next time, thank you so much for watching this video. Sending you so much love.